Hi, Michael. What was the logic behind giving Mitchell Johnson the ball as the match was getting closer when Starc was actually, bowling really well?
It's pretty tough to bowl a 10-over spell, so it was more to give Mitch 2 overs off. He was bowling beautifully, and I knew if we could find a way to get another breakthrough, I thought Mitch would have a huge opportunity to try and go through the tail, as he just about did. Good decision? Correct. All good.
Michael up here.
Yes,
does the New Zealand batting make you feel any better about the way your guys batted? Because in isolation that looked pretty abject.
Yeah, not really. We were extremely poor, there's no doubt about that. I think credit needs to go to New Zealand bowlers. I thought they bowled really well. They swung the ball nicely and bowled good areas. But our shot selection was very poor. And I think our defence, more than anything else, was an area that was a lot poorer than we would have liked. I think sometimes you can get caught up in 2020 cricket and one-day cricket working on the power side of your game. I don't think we've had too many training sessions where we've worked on the start of our innings and actually defending a brand new ball or a swinging ball. So that's an area that we can certainly focus on moving forward, because I think you face conditions like that all around the world, not just here in New Zealand. I think you'll see the ball will still swing at the whacker in our next game. We've experienced plenty of times in Brisbane, and even the MCG these days and the SCG. So I think moving forward, where our games are played, the ball's going to swing, so we've got some work to do with the bat, that's for sure.
Michael, just here, mate. Despite what you've just said about your batting, can you give a sense of what you felt at the start of New Zealand's innings, and more particularly when you got Ross Taylor out just before the dinner break, 3 down? Can you give a sense of if you felt you had a chance, if you really bowled well, you were right in it?
I felt that from the start, to be honest. Although our batting, like I said, was extremely poor, I made it very clear to the boys that I thought we had enough runs. And I think you have to do that certainly as captain of the team. You've got to back your bowlers. I think we've got a fantastic attack. All the guys have individual skill and talent, there's no doubt about it, and I think you've seen a good glimpse of that with the way Starkey bowled today. The class of Mitchell Johnson, and you've seen obviously the class of Pat Cummins in his short career as well. So the faith was there was no doubt about it. We just had to execute, and I think we did. I think even to get Brendan out, the way Brendan's playing at the moment, to get him out for 50, I think we found a way to change our plans halfway through his innings and found a way to get him out. But yeah, again, I think Mitchell Starc to me was the standout today. That individual performance is as good as you'll see in any form of the game. Good pace, good swing, and most importantly, very good execution.
Michael, with the batting, was the 2-week break any factor in terms of sort of rustiness among the batsmen, or was it just shot selection and such?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it was more shot selection and probably being in a bit of a rush as well, thinking we probably had to score a lot more runs than we did. That type of wicket with the ball swinging, I think you've got to give yourself more opportunity at the start of your innings and try and catch up later at the end.
How would you judge your own performance in your comeback game? I suppose it's been overshadowed by events here, but how would you judge?
I'd like some more runs. Yeah. I'm no different to any of the other, especially the top 6 batters. We were disappointing today, and again, my shot selection was poor, especially at that time. We just lost 3 for 2, I think.
Michael, is the challenge now that you go to Perth, which is going to be vastly different conditions, then back to Sydney in a pretty short turnaround? Is it adjusting to conditions an issue? Was that an issue here, and does it loom as another issue?
I don't think so. I think we gave ourselves enough time in regards to preparation. We've been in New Zealand for a week. Conditions are different in Perth, but the advantage we've got is we've played a fair bit of cricket there as a team, and we know Sydney pretty well. I think the toughest part of our the next few games for us is the flying time, I think. We've got 8.5 hours travel time to Perth tomorrow, and then another 5 hours back to Sydney. So recovery is going to be the key. I think we can talk about, obviously, our performance today. I think every batter certainly knows what we all feel. We'll have time to train in Perth and we'll have time to train in Sydney. So plenty of time to get our work done, but it's also about being smart with our recovery and making sure that everyone's fit and healthy and ready to play after a couple of really long flights. I hope so. Selectors haven't picked the team, but I would hope that yeah, I don't think it'll be from the flight that I don't play. Maybe not making enough runs.
Michael, 434 playing 438 at Wanderers has been called the greatest one-dayer ever and stuff like that. But sometimes our games like this where it's 150 and you really have to scrap for every run, are these games, do they mean more to you?
Winning means more to me than losing, and we've lost both. So I think it's entertaining cricket. There's no doubt about it. I think you've probably seen two aggressive teams, both with bat and ball. Probably too aggressive with the bat, and both teams didn't perform as well as we would have liked. But you've seen some good swing bowling at good pace throughout today, and some pretty aggressive fields. So I think it's just about, for me today it was about trying to win the game. We knew we had to bowl New Zealand out if we were going to win the game. Whether that took 10 overs or 40 overs, it wasn't about runs for me. It was about trying to bowl them out, hence the field placements I had. And yeah, I think both those, I've been involved in both those games and they were both pretty entertaining, but like I say, unfortunately we've lost both of them. So I like to be on the other side of the fence and winning, and I don't care if that's making 150 and winning or making 430 and winning.
Taking a bit of a glass half full view, is it a handy thing that the batsmen have had that performance and have this feeling now as opposed to in a quarter-final or semi-final?
I don't think there's ever a good time to bat the way we batted. I think the advantage we have though is we're not knocked out of the tournament, so we've got room and time to improve our game. But against the best oppositions, you have to play better than that. There's no doubt about it. And we acknowledge that. I don't think this is certainly not the end of the world for us. I think we need to respect the way New Zealand bowled and understand that they bowled really well. Look at our own games individually and get the work done to make sure we're well prepared for the next challenge in Perth. But I still think we've got a really strong squad. I'm still confident we can come out and play our best cricket, and we can turn this around quickly.
Michael, given that both of you, New Zealand and Australia, are considered favourites in this World Cup, do you feel that you've exposed certain frailties in the New Zealand batting lineup that you could take advantage of if you were to meet them again in this World Cup, which it looks like you might?
I think I probably don't have to worry about that right now. I think our focus has got to be on our next game in Perth. If we happen to come up against New Zealand, then we'll be as well prepared as any other team.